Hello everybody, December 5th, 2022. Let's start with what I said on Friday, quick review here. We were expecting to head into the 17K area, which is where we are now, of course. That was likely going to be where we see rejection anywhere in this area up to 17.7. So far we've made it to about 17.4. Now, as of Friday, it was 17.3. I said at the time, didn't suggest that we'd actually found that top yet, and so I kind of leaned towards it pushing up a little bit higher, and that's where that 17.4 came in. So we did, if you look here, this is when I was doing the video right there, or rather when it came down. But I said it looked like, we still needed to push up a little higher yet. And of course, it didn't make it all the way to 17.7, but got up to about 17.4 instead. And I did expect a top to be found in the near future. So the question now is, have we found that top already? And then the bull scenario is very, very tenuous. I don't really see this as a high probability at all, but we would need to see 5 waves up to 18.5. So obviously we've got a ton of work to do if that's gonna play out. I just don't really see it as much of a probability right now. So been looking for this essentially to be ABC. I've been expecting that for quite a while. Had that green box there as support, and then this red box here as the danger zone. Clearly none of this action is impulsive. It really does not look like it's going to go up to that third. Looks very choppy and corrective. So, I think it's reasonable to say we have likely struck a top there. And if we go down to the 5-minute chart, we can see potentially 5 waves down here. I'm not going to lie, it's not the cleanest in the world, but we can potentially call this 5 waves down. And so now what we're going to be looking for is 3 waves up into ideally this area here. Actually, I did that backwards. Sorry, let me reverse that. There we go. Anywhere between the 3 and 2 and that golden pocket of like 618 to 615 area. That's going to be another, like, it can go higher than that. If it goes higher than this, it doesn't necessarily mean anything really, but it shouldn't go above the 886 if it's going to continue immediately downwards, right? Now, of course, we still do have the larger danger zone up to 17.7, so even if it presses upwards, it may still just be kind of continuing that corrective motion before down. I'm just saying, like, for the immediate bearish scenario, to say that this 5 waves down is in fact correct and we're starting on our next leg down, we should remain below 17,360 basically. And ideally we find some sort of top in here, although right now I would say this kind of looks like maybe that's our A and B. Maybe it's found a bottom, maybe comes down a little further, and then C up. I mean, it looks like that area is reasonable for that. Let's just call that ABC just for a moment and see what the fib says about that. If that's A and that's B, we'd be looking at this area here. So kind of got some overlap there. Either one of these boxes though is potentially our target here in the very micro. It may have already topped already as well. I mean, that could be ABC right there. That may have already topped. And if this is a 5-wave impulse down, many times the second wave will come into this like 4th wave territory here, the previous 4th wave. So we could have topped already. But in any case, I am short already. It's not a terrible idea to short now, especially maybe you just shoot for stopping out above 17,360, and if it goes above that, I can always reshort higher. I might go ahead and do that. I might try to short some more in this box and just move my stop down into that area, and then just plan on shorting higher if necessary. You run the risk, of course, of this like kind of spiking up out of nowhere and then dying, and you kind of missing that move. But you know, you gotta sometimes take a loss every once in a while on something silly like that, just to make sure you're not overexposing yourself to unnecessary risk. So anyway, as I said, I think it's reasonable to interpret this as the top already being struck. And then if that's the case, we're going to have confirmation of that with the breakdown below 16,866. We change this to green because if it breaks above that, it should go a bit higher. This is red. If we break 16,866, we should be on the way down for the next leg. If the top has already been struck in this little microsecond wave, what this is going to tell us is, here's our 1 and 2. We should see a 3 come down into this region here, about the 1382 to 1618, bounce for 4 and down for 5. This should bring us down to about the 16K level, where we'll be in this territory again. Likely to see a bounce from that. That'll be our initial larger first wave then at that point, and we would see another bounce, right? So from here we would probably see, okay, that's wave 1 in the larger sense, then wave 2 comes back up to mid-16s, and then we get the big dump down into the 14K area. So that's, if this continues to play out impulsively downwards, that is what I expect. Obviously that's a little bit premature, but just want to let you know kind of potentially where we're going. And this area, 12 to 14K, is what I've been saying for a while, since we've failed to form an impulse off of this bottom. I've been expecting that, and then we failed to form an impulse off of that bottom as well. 12 to 14K seems like where we'll be headed next. So we'll take a look on Friday, see if we have any action that, you know, kind of confirms that scenario or not, and we will go from there. I still suggest a lot of caution here, and hopefully, you know, a large cash allocation just to ride out this volatility and the rest of this correction period here before hopefully we get another bull run at some point. Can't guarantee when that's going to happen now that we broke below 15.7, but at some point, you know, it will run again, and if not, you know, we can continue making money shorting it on the way down, so that's fine too. All right, guys, have a good week, and I'll talk to you on Friday.